Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Truth Seeker Show. The show that is specifically designed to help us to fulfill our life purpose in this world properly by giving information, motivation, pleasure, and healing. I am your extremely humble servant and host for the evening, Self-Appointed-Rabbi Eliezer Karp. I'm just trying to help. So sit back, get ready for a whole lot of truth, given with a whole lot of love, with the intention of pleasing our Creator finally in this generation by fulfilling the purpose for which He created us once and for all. So get ready. All right, guys. Hope everyone's doing well, having a good week. Excuse me. What I want to tell you? Oh, thank God that it seems Damar Hamlin's going to be okay. It seems, I think, from the last thing I heard. I hope he's all right. I think he has to go to a hospital near his hometown. But he got out of the other hospital, my understanding, and I guess prayer works. So we prayed. Everyone prayed for him, and Hashem, our Creator, heard the prayers, and I guess answered the prayers the way we wanted. The people spoke, and Hashem listened and came through. So I hope he's okay, Damar, and study Torah, get out of situations where you have to hit people and be hit for a living. I would find a different livelihood. Follow that good heart of yours. Study Torah. Learn how to fulfill your obligations properly. If your biological mother is not Jewish, you only have 7 obligations to fulfill. If she is Jewish, you have 613 obligations to fulfill. And either way, whether you're a Gentile or a Jew, you have these 10 steps to immortality that you should fulfill to please our Creator on the highest possible level. Start getting involved with all that. And then pick a nice, safe livelihood so that you don't get hit and run the risk of damaging the goof. This is called a goof. It's the body that encases your soul. Don't damage it. It's your vehicle to traverse through this terrain called life and keep it in good shape. Don't damage it. One hit from some angry, aggressive guy, and that could be the end of that goof, of that body. So, in fact, I think that's why they called Goofy, because he's very physical in Disney World. I think, I don't know, a goof is a body in Hebrew. So, having said all that, let's study Torah. We are on the second book of Kings, Malachim, Kings, book 2, and we're on chapter 8. So let's see how far we can go tonight. You got the Golden Globes on. I was watching a little bit of it. I wish to God that all these great superstars to whom we look for inspiration would learn the truth about the purpose of life and fulfill that purpose properly. They would be great influencers. They would be great, first of all, great models of excellence on how to fulfill that purpose properly. And they would influence all of American society and all of the countries all over the world who look to them for guidance and to see what they're doing, as the role models of life, and these celebrities will influence the entire world to fulfill the purpose of life. So do it, please. I beg you. I was watching some of the show and listening to some of the speeches, and I know some of you, I didn't really hear too much when I turned on where you peripherally mention God, the boss, and thank Him. I know a lot of people are God conscious, but to know the true purpose of life and to fulfill it properly takes some study and some effort and learning, and you have to humble yourself, and it's a task. So do it. I'm right there with you. I'm studying to fulfill this purpose, of course, properly, and also studying the performing and forming arts. And I hope to show you how it's done, God willing, with Hashem's help. Because I know that the way the performing arts are today and the forming arts, there's some room for improvement, a lot of room for improvement that I notice coming from this perspective. And I see, first of all, we should have all kinds of music. I'm a musician. We should have music for our Creator, Hashem music. And instead, we talk about, most songs are about, I analyze about 7,000 songs. Most of them deal with love. And maybe 2 or 3 deal with the purpose of life. What's it all about, Alfie? And what's that one? Is God like one of us, just a slob like one of us? So it went from, what's it all about, Alfie? You're asking Alfie the question, the purpose of life, and then you make your way to today's previous little generation where they wanted to know if God was a slob like one of us. So this is the extent to which music questions the purpose of life. There's also another song, what am I here for? What am I here for? It's a song. I don't know if it's a Russian song or it's a song. I've heard it. I've never really played it for anybody, but it's on my list to learn it. So I think there's only like 3 songs that question life that I know of. There might be some other ones sporadically that I haven't heard of, but of the hits and of the hits of the hits, there's only 3, and all the rest deal with love and maybe, what do you call it, reaching your highest potential and things like that. I guess you could put the reaching for highest potential in with the questioning of life, so maybe there's 5 to 10 tunes. I don't know. You got all those rocky songs, rising up, that's all, the Eye of the Tiger. That's probably a Why Are We Alive type of song. Doesn't really pursue, I guess, love per se, except maybe self-love, how to get yourself to be the best you can be. Anyway, so I noticed that we need to change the music of the world and make it more for our Creator and more in reality. Because the music of today, we're not even saying things about love in today's music that are really accurate. Things need tweaking, and I'm always constantly tweaking lyrics when I hear them. But anyway, so I was watching the Golden Globes, and I was having that thought that I wish that everybody would know the purpose of life and try to fulfill it. So let's get to Kings Book 2, Chapter 8. We're just starting right on it, I guess. Then spoke 8:1. Then spoke Elisha to the woman whose son he had restored to life. Right? You remember that? I think he did the same thing that Elijah did. Had him in his. Actually, I think the woman put the son, in Elisha's bed, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Arise and go, you and your household. Okay. And sojourn wherever you can sojourn, for the Lord has called for a famine. Okay. And it shall also come upon the land 7 years. That number 7 is always very significant. I think, if you remember the famine that was in Joseph's time, Joseph, I believe, was 7 years. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, if I'm not mistaken, right? 8:2. And the woman arose and did after the saying of the man of God. And she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years. 8:3. And it came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, and she went out to cry to the king. for her house and for her land. So this was after the 7 years, right? 8:3, and it came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, and she went out to cry to the king for her house and for her land. 8:4, and the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, "Tell me, I beg you, all the great things that Elisha has done." Okay. 8:5, and it came to pass, as he was telling the king how he had restored a dead body to life, that behold, the woman whose son he had restored to life cried to the king for her house and for her land. Wow. So I guess the timing was such, Hashem made the timing such that just as they're talking about this great deed of Elisha to raise the dead, the object of that raising just walked in. The mother of the son whom Elisha raised up, just walked in to beg the king for something. Let's see what it is. And Gehazi said, "My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisha restored to life." So you got an eyewitness right there. She'll come right in and speak Elisha's praises, I guess. 8:6, and when the king asked the woman, she told him. And the king appointed to her a certain officer, saying, "Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field, since the day that she left the land, even until now." Okay, so I guess things weren't good for her, and the king restored to her everything. Okay. 8:7, and Elisha came to Damascus, and Ben-Hadad, the king of Aram, was sick. And it was told him, now which is the king? Is this the king that restored to the woman? Is that the king of Aram, or no? Or who is that? Is that the king of Israel? I don't know. But now we're in a different, from Elisha's point of view. 8:7, and Elisha came to Damascus. Damascus, Syria, is that what it is? And Ben-Hadad, the king of Aram, was sick. And it was told him, saying, "The man of God has come here." 8:8, and the king said to Hazael, Hazael, "Take a gift in your hand and go meet the man of God and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, shall I recover of this disease?" 8:9, and Hazael went to meet him and took gifts with him of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels burden, 40 camels apostrophe after the S, 40 camels is burden, and came and stood before him and said, "Your son Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, has sent me to you," saying, your son, that's very interesting, your son Ben-Hadad. Is it actually his son, or is it an expression? I don't think it's biologically his son. Ben-Hadad, Elisha's son is Ben-Hadad, maybe I'm wrong. "Shall I recover of this disease? Your son Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, has sent me to you, saying, shall I recover of this disease?" 8:10, and Elisha said to him, "Go say to him, you may certainly recover." Okay. "But the Lord has told me that he shall surely die." But the Lord has told me that he shall surely die. I thought you said he's going to recover. Now you tell me he's going to die. 8:10, and Elisha said to him, "Go say to him, you may certainly recover. You may certainly recover, but the Lord has told me that he shall surely die." What does that mean? Could that be like a reverse of a negative prophecy? Because, so here God tells Elisha that he shall surely die, but we human beings have free will. I told you this a long time ago. We can reverse negative prophecies. So, wow, when something like that comes, you can actually twist it around and make it not happen by fulfilling obligations. Make every action an obligation, fulfilling action, and you're always safe. You're always reversing negative prophecies, things you don't even know about, probably. That's why I say all that stuff. I'm not just talking out of my head here, just trying to throw stuff at you. It took a lot of thought to come to that. I said, it's a pretty heavy thing to do, but it's worth it. I'm going to make every action an obligation-fulfilling action. And that way, I'm always on the side of good. I'm always trying to do well. I make my actions exceed my knowledge and my wisdom. So even if I don't know what I'm doing, I try to do it the best I can, at least try and do it for Hashem and have intention to be fulfilling an obligation all the time. That way, times like this, calamities, famines, different things, you're always in the right. You'll always be a man of God, and you could always try to help others that way. And if we're all doing it, then we all help each other. And then Hashem does not have to punish us with a famine or something like that. He'll just look down and see, wow, everyone's fulfilling obligations for me. 8:11. And he fixed his gaze steadfastly until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. And Hazael said, "Why does my Lord weep?" And he answered, "Because I know the evil that you will do to the people of Israel. Their fortresses you will set on fire. Their young men will you kill with the sword, and will dash their children, and rip up their women with child." Wow. 8:13, and Hazael said, "But what is your servant who is but a dog that he should do this great thing?" But what is your servant who is but a dog that he should do this great thing? And Elisha answered, "The Lord has told me that you shall be king over Aram." Who's he talking to? Is that Hazael's going to be king, or it's the king of Aram already? I don't know. 8:14, and he departed from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, "What did Elisha say to you?" Right? And he answered, "He told me that you should surely recover." That you should surely recover. That's not exactly what he said. 8:15, and it came to pass on the next day that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face so that he died. And Hazael reigned in his place. Okay, so now we see to whom he was referring. It's Hazael is going to be king over Aram. But, so he lied he didn't quite lie, only told half the truth. Half the truth is kind of a lie, isn't it? It's not exactly the full truth. What he should have said to him is that you may certainly recover, but the Lord has told me that he shall surely die. Go say to him, you may certainly recover, but the Lord has told me that he shall surely die. Oh, so Elisha told Hazael to tell the king, go say to him, And Elisha said to him, to Hazael, go say to him, you may certainly recover. Kind of like not a definite, but you may certainly recover, but the Lord has told me that he shall surely die. Like, I guess kind of keep that to yourself, I think, to my understanding of the way it played out. That's what it seemed to say. 8:16. And in the 5th year of Joram, okay, we're kind of in a new topic here. 8:16. In the 5th year of Joram, Joram, the son of Ahab, the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. Jehoram, right? Oh, see, there's, again, the sentence. 8:16, and in the 5th year of Joram, Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being then king of Judah, Jehoram, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. Okay. 8:17. Hold on a second. 8:17. 32 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. 8:18. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. So walking in the ways of the kings before him was not a good thing. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. And I guess he married into that family, right? For the daughter of Ahab was his wife. 8:19. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised him to give to him and to his children a lamp for all time. So he promised for David's sake that he wouldn't destroy Judah, right? You know, it's funny, I heard an interview with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for Israel, from Israel. And he was giving quite an historical account of Jewish history. And he was like going through different periods and talking about it. And I was quite impressed and moved by his connection to our history. And that was one thing, but he was talking to an evangelical person from another claim, which I claim is false. And I thought to myself, I beg him, please say something that could set this gentleman straight with the truth and teach him our claim properly, so that it would put our Creator's instructions in the right light in the world. And he did not say it. But he was, I don't want to use the word kowtow. It was more like kowtow. I think it was more, he was like playing to the beliefs of this evangelical. I guess he didn't want to insult him, and I understand that, but I guess that's why the laying down of the law has to be done this way, I think. Not in, it's in front of people, but I don't want the person present. I don't want to embarrass anyone in public or anything. But I thought of so many. He could have done so many things. The prime minister, if he would, president, prime minister. I think he's the prime minister. Prime minister. The president is someone else usually in Israel, and then the prime minister is the one who runs the government, basically. The other one, the president, I believe, is like a figurehead or a representative of Israel. I have to go through my Israeli history and see my current events too to see who's who, because I know they just changed prime ministers or something. There was someone in there, and then they are gone, and now Prime Minister Netanyahu's back in there. And I've always liked Prime Minister Netanyahu. Something about him, I feel his derech, his way of doing things is very solid, I think. However, maybe now I need to look more at his connections to the truth and how he is trying to implement the truth for all the Israelis and for the entire world. I need to listen a little closer, because maybe I'm not an Israeli. I don't live in Israel. I wish I did to some degree. Not yet. I have so much work to do here with my American brothers and sisters, and I believe I can help other countries from this country. But and all that for help Hashem get His will fulfilled in the world. If I could teach the truth and lay down the law in such a way where, I'd have to, if I was in that position, I'd have to lay down some ground rules with that gentleman. A nice gentleman, but he comes from this other claim that I hold is not true. Hashem holds it's not true. This is the truth. It says in the Torah, again, I always say this to you, Devarim, in the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy 4:2 and 13:1, go check it out. It says, do not add to and do not delete from these instructions, the Torah. So God does not want any other claims in the world, period. That's it. All right, I don't know how to stress that enough, but that's the truth. 8:20. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and set up a king over themselves. 8:21. And Joram went over to Zaire, and all the chariots with him. And he rose by night and defeated the Edomites who surrounded him. And the captains of the chariots and the people fled to their tents. 8:22. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah to this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. Wow. In the world today, you have Russia. It's always the big guy picking on the little guy. You got Russia picking on Ukraine, and here in the background, China picking on Taiwan, and kind of paralleled this a little bit. North Korea trying to flex its muscles. For what reasons, I do not know. What do we gain by being superior to others in power? What if you could even be that? How could you do anything without Hashem's help? But you try to be physically superior and be like an undefeatable force in the world. What does that accomplish for you? Makes you a big shot, makes you feel like you can boss the rest of the world around. You want to force them to live your way in the world as a communist or an autocratic nation or You want to be the sole boss. You want to be like God and boss all the nations around. What does that really accomplish? You just anger people. And there's always a better fighter all the time. You have one fighter, and you'll always have some more skilled fighter. And then that's not even factoring in the God factor, is that anybody could be better than someone with God's help. So you can't really win. Fighting does not accomplish anything. It shows your lack of belief in God. It shows that you don't really respect the creator of the universe, and you want to kill his creations for your own enjoyment and your own self-aggrandizement. You want to make yourself look big, for what? It doesn't accomplish anything. If we could all help each other fulfill the purpose of life, that would be the one task that is the most righteous, saintly, holy, gifted, one with God, noblest task and endeavor we could pursue, is to help each other fulfill the purpose of life. Do you see that yet or not? So we should work together and stop trying to fight with each other and pick on smaller nations. Look, they got their own little nation. Let them keep their little nation. What do you care? Got to make such a big deal out of it. Oh, it once belonged to us and blah, blah, blah. Who cares, what belongs to you? Who's you? Are you representing all the people of that country and you feel you want this land for you? Why would you do that? It's not even your land. It all belongs to God. If you're lucky enough to have land on which to live, it's a blessing from the creator of the universe. Why don't you just respect that? If they're comfortable being a sovereign nation, they don't want to be run by anybody else or governed by anybody, so just let them do their thing. Why do you have to interfere and make a big deal out of that you're bigger? You can see big nations, they can crumble like nothing. You can see like big nations who have many more people and more firepower and everything, and then Hashem decides to help the smaller guy, and the smaller guy just keeps defeating the big guy. I see it on YouTube. I sometimes watch MMA things and whatnot and this and that, and you always see like sometimes the little guy defeats Goliath and lays him flat on his back. So how can you predict such things? I think we should not fight at all, period. We should not call each other to task, put ourselves, put ourselves next to somebody. What's that called? There's a word for that. I think it's a C word there. When we try to, when you put two sentences next to each other, to see if, not contrapuntal, not contradicts. You're trying to, you hold something up to something to see which one's better. For what? What does that accomplish? Nobody's really better than anyone else, because every strength we have, every skill we have comes from God. And it can be turned up or turned down depending on how he feels. So what do you prove? Don't try to look for a validation of your self-worth by trying to put down others. It's illogical. I know you don't see it that way. I know I came from that mindset where you think, oh, I'll be the best, I'll be the greatest. There's always someone who could be better, and it's all in Hashem's hands. So you're not really proving anything. Get out of that endeavor. That's a waste of time for an individual and certainly for a country. Don't waste time with that garbage. It's going to lead you nowhere fast, and then you have so many people dead. You try to be a big shot, and then you end up losing thousands and thousands of your countrymen because you have the wrong focus. Your focus should be on learning God's will, his instructions, and working together, Jews and Gentiles working together to fulfill that purpose properly. That is it. That's what we should be doing, period. Everything else is a waste of time. 8:23. And the rest of the acts of Joram and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? Okay. 8:24. And Joram slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his place. Okay. 8:25. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, oh boy, hold on. Whoa, I just caught something. Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, Jehoram. Meanwhile, in the sentence before, in 8:24, it said, and Joram, Joram. Remember, I went through that to try to show you the two different names. There was a difference. There was two different people, I thought. Not the same person. There's one, his son is Jehoram, Joram's son, and therefore Ahaziah is the son of Joram because he's the son of Jehoram. I don't know. Forgive me. I don't have all those details secure in my head, but I noticed this doesn't sound right here. Again, 8:24, and Joram, Joram, slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his place. Joram's son, right? 8:25, in the 12th year of Joram, in the 12th year of Joram, Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, Jehoram, king of Judah, began to reign. 8:26. I still don't get it completely, and I don't know if I am going to, so I'll just read on. 8:26. 22 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. 8:27. And he walked in the way of the house of Ahab and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. Guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Be careful who you marry. You don't want a bad influence in your household, because that's how you're going to raise your kids. You get an evil wife, and it could affect your whole household. So be selective. As at the house of Ahab, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. 8:28, and he went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to war. And he went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to war against Hazael, king of Aram, in Ramoth Gilead. Now that, right, Hazael was made king of Aram, right? And the Arameans wounded Joram. 8:29, and King Joram went back to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Arameans had given him at Ramah when he fought against Hazael, king of Aram. So he went back to be healed, right? And Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab. in Jezreel because he was sick. And Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, right? Because Joram's the one who went to be healed. The son of Ahab in Jezreel. Went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Jezreel because he was sick. It's a mitzvah. It's called Bikur Cholim, to visit the sick, to Karp. So I guess, why is he doing this mitzvah? Ahaziah, trying to do something good there, I guess. Is that his intention? I don't know. All right. We're on chapter 9. I'm feeling a little funky. A little... I went through some trauma today. My schedule is kind of changed a little bit, and I have to pace myself through various endeavors. I gotta take care of my mom. I gotta study the whole Torah, trying to finish the whole Torah in English first, and then in Hebrew and Aramaic. Then I have to get my livelihood set up, and I'm starting to work and more, and it's a bit draining, and I have to prepare myself for that. I'm trying also to exercise because I'm 57 and I'm starting to feel certain things that I don't want to feel, and my body's starting to react to sugar in a bad way and stuff. So I'm trying to exercise all the time because it's probably my only saving grace, because it says somewhere in the Torah that the Rambam mentions if you exercise, you can even get away with eating bad foods. I don't want to say the word poisonous, but there's some foods that are worse than others. He gives like 3 categories of foods. The most poisonous ones, the second level of poisonous, and then the third level. But exercise, I think, is the only way to, from what I understand from the Torah, to somehow maintain good health, even when you have to bend your diet a little bit. And I just started back in the house only cooking millet. See how Hashem guides me, but that's like the only grain I know of, that and sorghum, that don't have lectins in it, from this Dr. Gundry. I'm just kind of taking it at his word. I don't know completely if I agree with all the things he says, because sometimes they conflict with Torah, but I don't know if modern science is wiser than Torah. I don't know. Maybe through research they come up with things, and maybe... I mean, look, we went through a period where the Rambam was into bloodletting. He would, if you had an illness or something, they would let blood come out of you, and that would heal you. I guess that was like a medieval concept of doctoring. But I guess maybe in today's day, although we do blood transfusions, so there's something to say about having good, clean blood in you, I guess. But in today's day, maybe the medical profession has figured out things that we did not know before. I am entertaining that as a possibility, and that's why I'm kind of giving this Dr. Gundry the benefit of the doubt, if I can handle it. If I feel like I can't survive like this, I have to bend certain rules in order to eat what I need to in order to survive and live and have a smile on my face to some degree. So but I'm trying just to eat the millet, and I'm going to try to get some sorghum and keep those 2 grains and just eat with that. And I stopped eating the rice and the home. I used to be making rice and beans a lot, and I felt the one day I ate the millet, I felt so clean. So I'm testing it out on myself to see how it works. I'm not, shoving it down your throat right now, but I'm telling you that I'm currently working on this concept of keeping real clean in the house. There's only like about 18 things that I buy that I think at this point, like I'm a little afraid to even get Brussels sprouts because I think I heard it, you can't really check them for bugs. We Jews are not allowed to eat insects. You Gentiles, I would hope that you would know what we do in order not to get punished, where Hashem's forcing us to be healthy. Learn from us what we get punished for doing, or not doing, and then just do it just because you'll be healthier. Like you shouldn't eat insects, but here we're punished if we do eat them. So I'm a little nervous about Brussels sprouts. So I had given a list. I have this in social media. I have this site called oh boy, I haven't paid too much attention to it recently, so it slipped my mind. But it's Health and Fitness for Immortality. Health and Fitness for Immortality. It's on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hopefully I'll put like workout videos in there for us spiritually, socially, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, so that we reach the highest level of good health in all those 6 areas, right? But I put on there a diet, not so much on the YouTube, but on the Facebook and the Twitter. And I have like more of a revised diet. I'll just give you real quickly. I eat, there's only those 3 permitted fruits. I think I'm even going to stop Bli Neder, Bli Ayin Hara, without the evil eye I should have any problems. Bli Neder, without a vow. I'm actually studying oaths right now in the Gemara. But without a vow that I should keep this. I'm trying it out to see how it works. I'm only eating the Rambam's permitted fruits. Grapes, figs, and almonds. Now, I think Dr. Gundry calls grapes little power packs of sugar, right? But I think they're permitted power packs of sugar, and I'm getting real sensitive to sugar because Hashem's making something happen in my body. My hair is changing, and my inner body is changing, and I'm trying to be sensitive, and I tried to fully exercise. I have like 18 exercises that I do when I'm on point, and that's just a minimal. I have like 6 areas: stretching, strength building, stay power or endurance, which is on land, sea, and air, and then sculpting the body with some light exercises with weights or your own body weight. But the strength building, I do the basic big exercises like pull-ups and dips and chin-ups and push-ups, etc. In different angles. I do them just like on a flat incline, and then on an incline, and then on a decline I do handstand push-ups. I try to work on that too. But and I'm just starting, so I had always had it in my mind to do it, but Hashem never let me get it, but now I'm starting to do it. But so sculpting, then self and others' defense. I study those things. I hope we come to a point in time where we don't have any war anymore, and we do not have to study war. I study things just to know how to protect myself and others around me, but I wish we all were well behaved in our Creator's instructions and wouldn't hurt each other and pose threats to each other. Don't try to intimidate people. I was listening to tapes of Mike Tyson talk, and I appreciate where he came from. In fact, I even know one of the gentlemen who bought his apartment or something. I was friendly with him, and there was a situation there where at one point I was out in Las Vegas, and I thought maybe I would meet Mike, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. But point is, though, I know he came from a tumultuous upbringing where I guess the answer to his I don't want to say survival or the method that he used to deal with his challenges was to become a champion boxer where you hurt people professionally. I don't agree with hurting people professionally. I watched him grow, and I think we're about the same age. I watched him grow from the beginning of his career till now, and I noticed that he's become calmer and a bit more, mature and whatnot. And I get that, but again, I call him to task here as well. He should learn the purpose of life and fulfill it, and it will set him on the right track. And he won't have any anger if he still has any left in him. If Hashem gave him, our Creator gave him those situations and circumstances in his life, he should use them to. At one point, he said that he came to God, but I think it's through a wrong claim. He's got to be careful. This is the truth. It says, again, I nullify myself. It says in the Torah, God says, do not add to these instructions. Do not delete from these instructions. These are the only instructions, the Torah. Gentiles have said we're alive in this world to earn the life of the next world. This is the purpose of life being created here. And we're alive in this world to earn the life of the next world by fulfilling 7 obligations if you're not Jewish, and by fulfilling 613 obligations if you are Jewish, and by fulfilling 10 steps to immortality if you're both a Gentile and a Jew. And try to please our Creator on the highest level by being immortal. God did not want us to die. God did not want us to be, non-permanent. He wanted us to be permanent. He wanted us to be immortal, where we don't die. And we just transition to the next phase of this creation smoothly, where we would be the Techiyas Amesim would be the revival of the dead. We don't have to die, so we would just step into that next realm without dying and having to be brought back. Dying to me is embarrassing. Whenever I hear it in the Torah, someone died, I feel that sense of embarrassment for them and for myself as one of their ancestors. I look at him and I think, and he sleeps with his fathers. It's not something to brag about. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem right. That's one of my insights into Torah. The same way I think Hashem wants us to eat the vegetation, I also think it's embarrassing to die. He does not want us to have a king, and he does not want us to die. Anyway, but why was I talking about Mike there? I was mentioning, and by the way, I learned a lot from him, watching him and what Kevin Rooney taught him about self-defense, and I like that movie. Boom, 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 boom. He hits the body first, then comes up for the uppercut, the knockout. But I don't want to speak favorably of these these practices because I don't agree with fighting and hurting people. I did have an interest in him because way back I wanted to learn what was taught to him. So I watched him and I learned those things. But still, I don't agree with it from our Creator's perspective, that we're not here to fight with each other. We should not make livelihoods out of things that go against our Creator's will. And then you have to try to flip it around. I always see these boxers praying to God and doing all kinds of things in the ring to reach out to God. You're about to hurt somebody. You could possibly kill him, And now you're going to reach out to God. You're about to demolish one of his creations, knock his teeth out, do this, do that. Oh, that's what I was thinking of. It's funny how I came to that. I thought about, why did I say that? Because I was talking about the fifth area of physical exercise was self and others' defense. And then the sixth area is systems maintenance. There are 9 body systems. The integumentary, or the skin, then the muscular system, the skeletal system. Then you got I should probably put these 3 at the beginning, but I went from outside in. Then you got your vital organs. You got your, interesting, because there's a question, I've always had this question, what's more important, your brain or your heart? When you're brain dead, it's one thing. When your heart dead, it's another thing. Which is, I've had that question come up many times. I still haven't pinned down the answer, but let's say the respiratory system is your breathing and your heart. Then you got your nervous system with your brain and your spinal cord and your your brain and your spine, basically. And then you got your circulatory system, sending the blood, the life force, and through nerves and what do you call it? Sinews? No, what am I thinking here? I don't want to comment on it right now. Something is not clear in my head. But so you got those three, and then you got the urinary and reproductive system, the digestive system, the urinary and reproductive, and the endocrine system. So 9 body systems. I traded with a yogi. He gave me 5 poses to work on all of those body systems, and in exchange I gave him a piano lesson. But what was I saying? I'm trying to work on bettering myself spiritually, socially, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. And having said that, I feel very pulled in many different areas, and I'm trying to balance myself out. So with your kind permission, I'm going to end the show right there tonight. You got 1 chapter. We went through it. I told you where I'm at. I'm a little tired. I'm a little knocked out. I had to take my mom somewhere. She's got things she does that I need to help her with, and I'm being pulled. And at one point she told me she wanted me to, she said I should give up the show. And not her show, but this show. So I thought to myself, that really should not happen. You need to know, I got to take care of you guys too. You need to know the truth. I just feel a little pulled right now. I don't even know if I have enough strength to do another chapter. I'm that knocked out. So let's hold here. And I'm sorry. But hopefully when I get on complete track here, get over the trauma of my schedule being changed once again by the creator of the universe, it seems. I'm trying to roll with it, but I feel a bit knocked out. Plus, we don't have air conditioning in our car. We live in Florida, and it's rather hot. And I had to take my mom to a place, and it was a kind of a lengthy trip. And the two of us were rather hot and bothered, and it was very draining. Hopefully, the vehicle will be fixed shortly, but until it is, I'm a little knocked out. All right, is there anything else I could tell you guys? It's also the night I wanted to kind of watch those Golden Globes, but I really couldn't see the whole thing. I think it's only on for another hour or something. Especially since that's my profession, I should know what's going on in the industry, especially when stuff happens. God forbid any bad stuff, but I don't know what else to tell you. I appreciate you coming. I'm sorry that I'm spent. My energy is spent, and I'm knocked out. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to The Truth Seeker Show, the show that is specifically designed to help us to fulfill our life purpose in this world properly by giving information, motivation, pleasure, and healing. I am your extremely humble servant and host for the evening, Self-Appointed-Rabbi Eliezer Karp. I'm trying to help. So I've given you the whole truth, nothing but the truth as best as I see it from where I sit. with the intention of pleasing our Creator once and for all in this generation by fulfilling the purpose for which He created us once and for all. So that's basically it. I was also going to say that I am really tired. I had something else on my mind to tell you. What was I going to say? It's not coming to me. I don't know. I guess Hashem doesn't want it said or whatever. I don't know what I was going to say. I'm so really tired that I get and I hurt my back. I went to put something in the refrigerator, and I should have bent my knees and bent down, but my legs were hurting because I haven't been exercising so often. I got to get back into these 18 exercises. That's what I was going to tell you. Well, I was giving you the 18 foods, and then I also have 18 exercises. If you want to hear the updated foods, because I think it's important. So these 3 permitted fruits, grapes, figs, and almonds, and I had bit into a piece of ginger. I was using ginger to counteract foods that cause irritation, because ginger somehow nullifies irritation in the body, as well as turmeric. But I bit into ginger and it dislodged my teeth. And I had to push my teeth back, and they grew back into place, thank God. Or they somehow got stronger, but it was weak for a while. So then I didn't want to eat almonds because they're kind of hard to bite into. So I started getting almond butter. So I'm trying out all these things. It's pretty good. I would have it with a banana, but I think bananas are kind of fattening. And it says that in the Torah that fruits are bad for the body. The Rambam says fruits are not good. They're like spears to the body or something. But yet he said these are the permitted fruits. Grapes, figs, and almonds. I guess an almond is a nut and it grows from a tree, and I guess it's a fruit to him, to the Rambam. Then I was going to get into these 2 grains, sorghum and millet. They seem to be the only 2 permitted grains that Dr. Gundry seems to hold by. You could cook rice somehow in a rice cooker or something if you boil out the lectins or something, but I'm not so skilled in that, and I just got to be able to have something that has no lectins in it right away. So I thought sorghum and millet, and I ate millet yesterday, and it felt so good. So I'm getting back to it, and I'm trying to really clean up and get rid of all the fruits. Like tomatoes cause irritation, so I stopped eating those things. When I go out, sometimes I was going to have stuff, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that anymore. And eating out is so expensive. Now I'm working. I got to save up for a family and whatever. So I'm trying to just cook at home and eat simply when I go out. We'll see how well I do. So those are the 2 grains. Then for a salad, I would have kale, celery. I've been putting parsley in there too, but I'm just the most basic salad. Kale, celery, hearts of palm, I noticed, are pretty good. I can't find anything wrong with them per se, and they taste good and make the salad bearable. Okay, kale is bitter, but Gundry says the bitter the better. Bitter the better. Then you put an avocado in there. I guess it's one of the fruits, but that's where I kind of bend because I got to live and I got to have some protein. I know that broccoli and cauliflower have protein. I think it might be more than 18. Hold on. Then, so I put an avocado in there. I think it's a good source of protein and oil and everything and fat, and has some fat in there, but I think it's a healthy one made by Hashem, and it seems to be nice. Then extra virgin olive oil also makes the salad bearable, And Dr. Gundry said to even have a hit of oil because it's good for your joints and this and that. I've been feeling a little pain in my knee, and I've been having the oil, and I'm trying to get rid of that pain, at least oil my joints, like the Tin Man and the Wizard of Oz. Then I got balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I think one of them or both of them are probiotics or prebiotics, so I'm kind of exploring into that realm to see how to feed the good gut buddies, whatever they talk about. And I feel good after I eat those things. It kind of gives my body another dimension where I feel good. So that's about 12 things. Then distilled water I drink. According to Dr. Jack Soltanoff, he said to drink distilled water is the best of all waters, he said. I know you pour it into your iron to iron your clothes, but I find it to be a very nice water, very pure H2O, I guess, right? There's no minerals or anything else in there, sediment or who knows whatever is coming from the what do you call it, natural water. What's that water called? Not distilled, but I forgot the name of it, but I'm a little skeptical of other waters. Since Dr. Soltanoff mentioned this distilled water, I've always held by it, and I always liked distilled water. I drank distilled water most of my adult life. Then sweet potatoes, broccoli, and cauliflower. Some good sweet potatoes. Gundry doesn't like regular potatoes, Dr. Gundry. So he's, by the way, a heart surgeon, or was, and he helped invent certain things, I think for young infants, like a tool to help with the heart surgery or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But sweet potatoes, he says, are better than regular potatoes. I guess I kind of noticed that in comparison. I always feel nourished by a sweet potato, and it feels like it has something. It's very colorful. I think sometimes the more colorful things are, the better it is for the body too, I've heard. Maybe that has something to do with it. So I've been eating the sweet potatoes. Broccoli has a lot of protein. Cauliflower has protein. Google it, you'll see. And I like those two vegetables, those cruciferous vegetables, he calls them, Dr. Gundry. So I eat those. So that's about, 16 foods. Well, I guess you can throw the parsley in there too, for the salad. So that makes 17. And what else? And limes. I sometimes take lime because there's this, I don't know if it's a debate or they think that putting a lemon in tepid water before you go to bed helps do something to settle your stomach and helps your body processes and things. I don't like so much a lemon because it's got the pits, and if I bite into it, I'm afraid to mess with the teeth. So I use the lime, and I find that to be kind of healthy and nice and refreshing. I would drink tepid water, but I usually put it on the salad, the lime. So there are like the basic 18 things I would get. Did I say anything? I hope I counted them correctly. I think I did. And those are the foods. Here are the 18 exercises I do. Push-ups flat on a flat bench. I use just my own body weight. Okay? These are body weight exercises. Just on a flat surface, I just do regular push-ups. So that's number one. Then I do them on an incline. An incline and a decline. I have to think about something there. I might be doing something wrong. I got to check on it. But then I do those headstand type push-ups and working on. They're hard. You got to lift your whole body. Probably puts a lot of weight on your shoulders. That's your whole body weight on your shoulders, right? I'm still not there yet. I'm just starting. But then I do squats. I just squat straight back squats with no weight, just my own body weight. Maybe eventually I'll use weight. I don't know. I'll see how this develops. I don't want to take steroids. I don't want to take supplements. I just want to eat healthy, those 18 foods, and with any variations I might add, and then just stay with my own body weight. And I'll let you know. I guess you'll see the results soon enough. I just worked out today. I did all these 18 exercises, but I didn't eat so good. We went to a place and I had rice and some vegetables and some sauces that had sugar in it. A Szechuan sauce that had sugar. I shouldn't eat sugar. It's throwing my body off somehow. So I learned from my mistakes. I have to fix myself. Pardon me. So those 3 push-ups, squats. Then I do. I hang on my pull-up bar. I got a pull-up bar. I hang on the pull-up bar and I raise my legs up front and back. Okay, that's to work the middle of my abs and my lower back center. Right. Then I do side to side, so it does your obliques and your. I forgot the names of these. Oh boy. It's the side muscles, which are between your stomach and your lower back, right? Then I do right, facing the left and back, facing the right and back. Raising leg raises so that it catches the various sides of the waist. Okay, that way I don't have to be on the floor. I wanted an exercise program where I don't have to take a shower necessarily if I'm in a rush right after. So I could do these exercises and not touch the ground. That was my goal, because I used to do sit-ups and all kinds of crunches, sit-ups, side crunches, all kinds of things, but I was on the ground. Then I'd have to take a shower. I didn't want to. So this is I have to compromise because I have this very large schedule of things that I'm trying to accomplish, and I feel pulled. So I got to be quick. Even with my piano practice, I got it whittled down to just like one exercise and a couple of other exercises I've added for simultaneous control and consecutive control of notes, and also to see music as a language and to speak sentences with subjects and predicates. And that, I think, is going to change my whole approach to music, which will hopefully enlighten people to see that music is actually a language. It's not just a bunch of aimless rambling of sonorities one after another just because you feel like it. It's got to make sense. It's got to be logical. But we'll get to that another time. But let me get back to these exercises. So that's for the abs. I do those 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then I do dips on a dip bar. I also have a pull-up bar with a dip bar. It has push-ups, push-up handles, dips, and a pull-up bar on the same bar. I got that a long time ago because I knew that's what I would be doing. So dips. Then I do what do you call it? Chin-ups, where your grip is tight, close. So that's that. And then I do pull-ups, wide grip, to get that lat, what do you call it? Strengthening of the lat muscles, latimus dorsi muscles. So that is 11. What did I miss? Oh, I'm so sorry. And they're in an order, too. And I didn't tell you the correct order, but the rest of the exercises, there's 3. I work my tibialis and calf muscles by doing leg calf raises on straight, feet facing straight, facing outward, facing inward. So that's 3 right there. Then I do, okay. I exercise my hands and my toes, my fingers and my toes. Nikola Tesla used to do this exercise in his bed. He would just squeeze. If you're ever stuck or flat on your back and you can't exercise something, try to do this. When I had gout, I would squeeze my hands and work my fingers and my toes and do that. And so where does that leave us? There was another. It's not so sneeze to say, but there are Kegel exercises too. I do front and back. Am I missing one? And then I hang from the pull-up bar. I counted that as an exercise. I twist to the right side and turn my twist to the left and turn my neck to the right, and I do the other way, like this and like this, about 6 times. Usually I use the number 6 because God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. So too do I. I do an exercise for 6 reps and then rest, and then I move on to the next exercise. So it's about 18 exercises. I don't think I left anything out. One day I'll put them in the order that I do them. I don't know why I blitzed out and didn't do them. And I think I did them in body weight exercises. The calf raises and stuff like that, they're just, it's using your whole body, but I guess it's different than pulling yourself up on a pull-up bar. You're raising yourself up off the ground. So, anyway, I do that. I'm trying to do that every day, and I'll report back to you. Hopefully you'll see the results. I'm starting to lose a little weight and trying to get thinner and looking sharp and get that smart look. And so I will keep you posted on my progress, and I just have to balance out my schedule because I'm knocked out from all these endeavors. But I'll keep you posted, all right? Have a good week. I love you, and try not to hurt each other. All right? Have a good week. Make every action an obligation, fulfilling action. That's the one most important thing. If I didn't say anything else, that's the most important thing I should say. Make every action an obligation, fulfilling action. Bye-bye.